It's 1 a.m. You told yourself you wouldn't do this tonight. But your thumb is already moving. Not to text anyone. Not to post anything. Just to look. One more time. At a profile you know better than your own class schedule. You tell yourself it's harmless. It's just a photo. It's just a story that disappears in 24 hours anyway. But here's the real answer. What's lighting up in your brain right now isn't heartbreak. It's the same circuit that lights up in a cocaine addict staring at a bag they know they shouldn't touch. And by the end of this, you'll understand why the thing you think will finally give you peace, one more scroll, one more check, is actually guaranteed to make it worse. Think about the last time you checked. What were you hoping to find? A new post? A new follower? Proof they're doing worse than you? Proof they're doing fine without you? You probably couldn't answer that. And that's the point. In 2010, biological anthropologist Helen Fisher put recently rejected people into an fMRI scanner. Not people who were sad. People who had just been dumped and were still in love with the person who left them. She showed them photos of their ex while scanning their brain activity in real time. What she found should have made headlines everywhere. The regions lighting up weren't the ones tied to sadness or grief. They were the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens. The exact same reward circuitry that lights up in someone craving cocaine. But why would heartbreak look identical to addiction? Shouldn't losing someone feel more like loss and less like withdrawal? Because to your brain, it isn't loss yet. It's an interrupted reward. Somewhere deep in your nervous system, a relationship isn't filed under over. It's filed under unresolved. And unresolved things do not fade quietly. They demand to be finished. This isn't new. In the 1920s, a psychologist named Bluma Zaganik noticed something strange while watching waiters in a Vienna cafe. They could perfectly remember a complicated order, right up until the moment the plates were served. The second the task was complete, the memory vanished. Unfinished tasks stayed sharp in the mind. Finished ones disappeared. It's now called the Zaganik effect, and it explains far more than restaurant orders. Your brain doesn't hold onto things because they matter emotionally. It holds onto things because they are incomplete. So what happens when the most significant relationship of your life ends without a clean resolution? No real explanation. No closure conversation. Just silence, and an Instagram profile that still updates. Your brain doesn't experience that as an ending. It experiences it as a task left open. And an open task doesn't ask to be forgotten. It asks to be checked on. Which brings us to why checking feels so hard to stop, even when you hate yourself for doing it. In the 1950s, B.F. Skinner ran a now famous series of experiments on reinforcement. He noticed that animals rewarded every single time they pressed a lever eventually got bored. But animals rewarded unpredictably, sometimes yes, sometimes no, pressed the lever obsessively. Compulsively. Far more than the ones who always got a reward. He called it variable ratio reinforcement, and it is, to this day, the single most addictive pattern of behavior ever documented. It's why slot machines are engineered around it. And it's exactly what checking your ex's profile has become. Most of the time, you'll find nothing. No new post. No sign. Nothing changes. But every so often, there's something. A new photo. A comment from someone you don't recognize. A story that makes your stomach drop. That occasional hit is what keeps the lever getting pressed. Here's where it gets worse. You're not just addicted to a person anymore. You're addicted to a slot machine wearing their face. Every check you do, whether it turns up nothing or something devastating, does the same thing to your brain. It reactivates the reward circuitry Fisher found. It reopens the loop Zaganik described. And it resets the pull to check again. So the very behavior you think is bringing you closure is the exact mechanism keeping the wound open. You're not healing between checks. You're not even neutral between checks. You're in withdrawal, waiting for the next dose. Which is why quitting cold turkey feels less like willpower and more like actual detox. Because neurologically, that's closer to what it is. So what actually closes an open loop, if checking only reopens it? Not more information. Ironically, less. Studies on rumination and emotional processing consistently point to the same conclusion: the brain doesn't need answers to move on. It needs the absence of new stimuli long enough to stop predicting one. Every unblock, every quiet scroll through their stories, tells your nervous system the story isn't over yet. Every day without checking tells it the opposite. This is the twist most people never hear. You don't need to know how they are doing to heal. You need your brain to stop expecting an update at all. And this isn't really about an X. Notice how many other things in your life work the same way. The email you keep refreshing. The text left unread that you keep reopening. The group chat you check for a reply that isn't coming. Your brain isn't wired to crave people. It's wired to crave resolution, and modern technology has made sure almost nothing ever fully resolves. So tonight, when it's 1 a.m. again, and your thumb starts moving toward that profile, remember what you're actually reaching for. It was never really them. It's the same circuit, the same open loop, the same lever, pulled one more time.